If you're looking for truly underrated ways to automate your business with AI, then this video is for you. Hey there, my name is Neil Napier and I'm a digital entrepreneur operating 6 different companies simultaneously. I've been building businesses online for over 13 years and I have generated over $15 million in cumulative revenue across my portfolio. I'm also the creator of AI Revenue Engine, where I help revenue generating entrepreneurs replace manual execution with AI-powered systems. And before we dive in, I need to address something that most people get completely wrong about AI automation. Most people think AI automation is this thing where you set it up once, you walk away, and then the magic happens. They think it is completely set and forget. Well, that is not how it actually works. Here's the operator truth. AI automation saves time first, creates consistency second, and then becomes a system you refine to improve your results. It's not about removing yourself from the equation, it's about changing where your effort goes. And this video is about systems, feedback loops, and things that get better over time. And the ways I'm sharing with you in this video, I think they're totally underutilized, underrated, and underleveraged by most entrepreneurs who are actually making money but are trapped inside their own success. So let's get into it. The first one I want to share with you is something that most people get completely backwards with AI. They use AI to create something new, then they get the output, and then they move on to the next thing. And on the surface, that makes sense, right? You need an email, you get AI to write it. You need a landing page, you get AI to draft it. Output, output, output. But here's what they're missing, and this is costing them actual compounding leverage in their business. They're using AI like a production tool when they should be using it like an intelligence tool. Because here's the thing, you already have the assets in your business that are working. Sales pages that convert, trainings that people love, emails that get replies, but you probably don't know why they work. And you're definitely not systematically making them better. So what you should be doing is using AI to analyze and improve what already exists. I call this feedback loop automation. And here's how it works. Let's say I sell a training program. I deliver that training whether it's live or recorded. After I deliver the training, I take the transcript and I feed it into AI with some very specific questions, such as what parts landed the hardest with the audience? What objections came up naturally during delivery? What questions did people ask that are not addressed on my sales page? What should I be emphasizing more in my marketing? Then I take that analysis and I update my sales page. I update my onboarding, I update my messaging, and everything that could help me make more sales. See, most people update their offers based on opinions. I think this might work better, but operators update their offers based on delivery data. And AI makes this fast and systematic. What used to take hours of manual review now takes minutes, but more importantly, it's consistent. You're not relying on memory from a call 3 weeks ago. This is automation that makes your business smarter, not just faster. Number 2 is something I wish I had built 5 years ago because I probably lost hundreds of hours reinventing the same wheel over and over again. See, here's what happens when you don't have this in place. You decide to launch a product and you sit down and you think, okay, what emails do I need? What's the timeline? What bonuses should I include? How do I structure the funnel and the sales page? And as you're doing it, you figure it all out. Maybe the launch goes well, maybe it doesn't, but either way, you figure it all out eventually. Then 6 months later, you launch something else. And what do? Well, you start from scratch again. New Google Doc, new planning session, new decision fatigue about the same things that you already decided 6 months ago. By doing this, you're not learning, you're simply repeating. And the problem is, every launch feels like the first launch. There's no compounding effect. There's no improvement, just effort every single time. So what you need to do instead is what I call Launch OS, a launch operating system. This is your proven timelines, your email structures, your bonus logic, your positioning angles, and your post-launch review loops, all documented and ready to deploy at a minute's notice. And here's where AI fits. AI helps you refine with each iteration. You're not reinventing the launch, you're simply improving it. And after every launch, what I do is I feed the data into AI and ask what worked, what didn't work, what should I test next time. Then I update the launch OS so that the next launch is smarter, clearer, and faster. And the payoff is real. My last product launch, Only Mint, took 1 day of guided execution instead of 2 to 3 weeks of manual team labor. This is not theory. This again is what an actual operator outcome is from having this kind of system in place. Number 3. Now, most people completely overthink this part of their offer and it kills their momentum during launches. See, people like me sit there thinking, what bonuses should I create to recommend the product? Should it be a checklist? Should it be a template, a training? What if it's not valuable enough? What if people don't care? And they burn hours and sometimes days trying to come up with the perfect bonus idea to go with the product they're selling or recommending. Or worse, they throw something together last minute because they just forgot about it. And then the bonus feels like tacked on instead of strategic. Here's the thing, bonuses are not creativity exercises. They're not about being clever or better than anyone else. They are leverage. And if you treat them like creativity exercises, you will waste time on something that should take about 20 minutes to decide. So what you need is a bonus factory. That's exactly what we built. A system that turns bonus creation into a repeatable process. See, here's what bonuses should do. They should remove friction from the buying decision. They should increase the perceived value without adding delivery complexity. They should accelerate results for your customers. That's it. Very clear criteria. So what I do is this. I feed AI the offer details and I say, based on this offer and these objections, what are the 3 high-value bonuses that remove friction and accelerate outcomes? And AI gives me options that are already 70% there. I refine them. I pick the best one. Done. People treat bonuses as last-minute work. Operators treat them as a repeatable lever. And that's why the system works, because once you have the logic documented, you just keep on improving the output over and over again. Number 4, most businesses treat this one as a pure expense, and that's leaving money on the table. See, here's how most people think about support. Customer has a problem, so the support team answers the question and the ticket gets closed. Yay. It's a cost center, which is a necessary evil and something that we need to minimize. And because they think about it that way, their support is always reactive, always overwhelmed, and always behind the curve. But this is what they're missing. Support isn't just about solving problems. It's one of the highest leverage touch points you have with your customers. They're literally reaching out to you, engaged, asking questions. And most businesses completely waste that opportunity. They hire someone cheap, give them no context, no tools, no training, no intelligence. And then they wonder why support feels like a black hole that eats time and money. What you should do instead is turn support into revenue assist using AI. And here's how we do it. AI-assisted support gives you faster replies, an up-to-date knowledge base, and better explanations for your customers. Notice I said AI-assisted. You're not replacing your support team. Using AI, you are upgrading them. But here's the advanced angle that most people never think about. When your support is actually good, when it's fast, helpful, and informed, it doesn't just reduce customer churn, it surfaces upsell opportunities. I've had multiple situations where someone's asking a support question and the support person, enabled by AI, recognizes that this person is actually a great fit for a different program and they mention it naturally. That does not happen when your support is chaotic. It happens when your support team has bandwidth and resources and intelligence assisted by AI. So to me, AI doesn't remove humans, it upgrades them. And when your support is upgraded, it becomes not just a cost sink, but a revenue center for your business. Now, if this is clicking for you and you're realizing that your business has these exact bottlenecks, understanding where AI fits is not the same as installing it. And this is where most people get stuck. They understand AI conceptually, but they never actually finish the installation in their business. That's what we help you do inside AI Revenue Engine. We identify one high leverage bottleneck in your business and we help you install one system within 30 days so you can reclaim 5 to 10 hours per week. AI Revenue Engine is not about learning AI, it's about finishing the installation. The link is below if you want to check it out. Now, number 5 is a reason why most AI-generated content sounds exactly the same, and I'm going to tell you how to fix it. Tell me, you've seen this, right? You can tell when something was written by AI. It has that generic, corporate, overly helpful tone, such as unlock your potential, discover the secrets, transform your business today. We call this AI slop, and it sounds like everyone else's AI slop. And the reason this happens is because every time people use AI, they start from zero. They open ChatGPT, they type up a prompt, they get generic output over and over again. Your brand voice resets every single time. So even if you've spent years developing your voice, your tone, your style, or your way of communicating, none of that actually shows up in your AI outputs. And if you're using AI for email, social posts, sales copy, that, my friend, is a problem because now your brand sounds inconsistent. Sometimes it sounds like you, sometimes it sounds like a robot. What you need is a brand voice memory system, and this is how it works. You feed AI everything you created the pre-AI days. Your emails, your sales pages, your social posts, your video scripts, your transcripts, everything. And you let that become your brand memory. Now, when I ask AI to draft an email, it's not giving me generic marketing email number 47. It's giving me something that sounds like me because it's been trained on my voice. And look, this isn't just a one-time setup. This is something you have to keep updating monthly. New videos, new emails, new product messaging, all of it. So your AI outputs get more accurate over time, not less. AI shouldn't sound like AI. It should sound like you consistently. And that only happens when you treat it like a system. Number 6 is one of my favorite systems, and this is how I stay visible across multiple platforms without burning out. And most people get this completely backwards. See, if you don't use this system that I'm about to share with you, here's what will happen. On Monday morning, you're going to sit down and you're going to think, I need to post something today. What should I post? So you create something. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not, but you created it. Tuesday morning, same thing. What do I post today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every single day you're starting from zero. And trust me, it's exhausting. So what happens is sometimes you skip some days, you burn out and you stop posting. You disappear and then 3 months later you come back and you have to rebuild momentum from scratch. The problem is not lack of ideas. The problem is that you're treating content like a daily decision instead of a system. What I use and I think what you need is a long form to short form repurposing engine. And this is how it works. You create one long form asset. It could be a YouTube video, a podcast, a webinar, or whatever. Then you have a systematic breakdown of that asset into shorts, emails, social posts, blog content, whatever distribution channels make most sense for your business. So this way you're not waking up every day thinking, what do I post today? You already know what you're going to post today. It's coming from the long form content that you already created. And here's why this compounds. You're showing up everywhere, every single day. You're visible. You're on top of people's mind, but you're not grinding yourself into the ground to make it all happen. I publish multiple long-form videos every single week, and each one becomes 10 to 15 pieces of short-form content across platforms. Not because I have a massive team, but because I have a system. So, number 7 is one of those automations that quietly changes how your entire business operates. And most people completely overlook it. See, here's the problem. Your business has critical processes that only exist in your head. How you set up an email sequence, or how you review a launch, or how you onboard a new team member, how you create a bonus, how you structure a sales call. And because it only exists in your head, 2 things happen. 1, every time you need to do the process again, you have to think through it from scratch. Okay, what did I do last time? How did this work? What order did things go in last time around? Number 2, you cannot delegate it because if someone asks, okay, Neil, how do I do this? You have to explain it over and over again, and explaining it takes time. And they probably won't remember anything anyway, so they will ask you again later. This is how businesses stay small. Everything bottlenecks through the founder because nothing is documented. And the old way of creating SOPs was painful. It took hours. You had to write everything out step by step. So most people just didn't do it. But thanks to AI, SOP creation becomes almost automatic. And the principle is quite simple. Anything you do once and will do again becomes an SOP. Here's how I do it. I record a Loom video of me doing something. Could be setting up an email sequence. It could be creating a bonus, reviewing a launch, and I take the transcript out of that video, feed that into AI and say, turn this into a step-by-step SOP. 5 minutes, done. And the payoff is massive. Your team stops waiting on you for answers. And now people can take responsibility and ramp up without you holding their hand. You stop answering the same questions over and over again. Now look, I know this doesn't feel glamorous, but it fundamentally changes how your business scales. Number 8. Now there's a way to reach 3 times as many people as you're doing right now without creating 3 different products. Here's a mistake I see all the time. Someone creates a course or a program. And they write one sales page, one set of emails, one positioning angle. And they send it to everyone. Agency owner, same pitch. Course creator, same pitch. Consultant, same pitch. And then they wonder why their conversion is low. The problem is not the product. The product is probably fine. The problem is the lens through which it is being viewed. Because an agency owner cares about different things than, say, a course creator. Their pain is different. Their language is different. Their objections are different. So when you hit them with the same generic pitch, it doesn't quite land on them. But most people think, okay, so I need to create 3 different products for 3 different audiences. No, that's not what I'm asking you to do, because that is not scalable. What you need to do is you need to personalize offers at scale. Same product, different framing. And here's how you do it. AI lets you test how one offer resonates with different markets, different customer profiles, different awareness levels. I have one core offer, AI Revenue Engine, but the way I talk about it to an agency owner is different from how I talk about it to a course creator, which is different from how I talk about it to a consultant. The product doesn't change, the lens changes, and AI makes it fast and easy to generate multiple framings so you can test them out. Now, most people think personalization means creating 10 different products. That is not scalable. That is not what I'm asking you to do. Personalization at scale means creating one product and 10 ways of talking about it. Number 9, this is the part of your business where you're leaving most money on the table. See, here's what happens in most businesses. Someone buys something, they get a confirmation email. Thanks for your purchase, here's your login. And then nothing strategic. Maybe they log in, maybe they don't. Maybe they use the product, maybe they don't. And a month later, they cancel, or they don't renew, or they leave a mediocre review. And you're confused because you know your product is good. You did everything right. You know the product works. You've seen the results. But the customer never experienced those results because they never got activated. Here's the thing people don't understand. Getting a customer is difficult. Keeping a customer is easy if you activate them in the first 30 days. But most people obsess over acquisition and completely neglect the activation. What you need is a post-purchase experience automation. See, here's the truth. Retention is easier to automate than acquisition. What you do is you create a proven welcome sequence tailored to your business that are activation focused. So for example, when someone joins one of my programs, they don't just get a generic welcome to the program email. They get a sequence which is purposely designed to get them their first win, to reduce buyer's remorse, to position them for the upsell when it is appropriate. And here's a key insight. A customer who gets a quick win becomes a long-term customer. A customer who feels lost in the first week churns. See, people obsess over getting customers. I get it. I love that too. But operators like me obsess over keeping and activating them. And AI makes it really easy to design, test, and refine these sequences so they're not just emails, they are activation engines. Number 10 that I'm going to tell you doesn't show up in your revenue reports, but it fundamentally changes how you operate and also how you live. If you don't do what I'm about to tell you, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go to bed with your mind racing. All the things that you need to do tomorrow, all the things you forgot to do today, all the things that you're worried about. And when that happens, you won't be able to sleep very well because you're still trying to hold on to everything in your head. Then you wake up and you are already overwhelmed before you even start working. Because you have this vague sense of there's so much to do, but zero clarity on what actually matters today. So you end up being reactive. You check email, you check Slack, you put out fires, and by the end of the day, you are exhausted, but you didn't move anything important forward. And the worst part, tomorrow will be the same. This is what we call cognitive overload, and it's not a productivity problem, it's a system problem. What you need is daily planning and mental offload automation. Here's what I do. Every night before I go to bed, I dump everything in my head into a note. Everything I'm thinking about, everything I'm worried about, and everything that's on my mind for tomorrow. Then in the morning, I review it with AI and I ask, based on this brain dump, what actually matters today? What should I prioritize? What should I defer? What should I delete altogether? AI gives me a structured plan based on my own thinking. And this does 3 things. I get to sleep better because now I'm not holding on to everything in my head. I make better decisions because I'm externalizing my thinking. And I have lower cognitive load because I'm not waking up overwhelmed and stressed. See, I want you to start using AI as a thinking partner and not just as a task tool. Number 11 is where most people never go, and they should. And this is the difference between someone who uses AI and someone who builds leverage with AI. See, most people do this in their business. They publish content and maybe it does well, maybe it doesn't. Then they move on to the next thing. They run a campaign. Maybe it converts, maybe it doesn't. Then they move on to the next campaign. They launch a product. Maybe it sells, maybe it doesn't. They move on to the next launch. There is zero reflection. There is no learning. There is no loop. And because there's no loop, they make the same mistakes over and over again. They miss patterns. They can't tell you why something worked or why something didn't. It's just effort without intelligence. And the problem is you think you're learning in the process. You think you're paying attention, but are you actually paying attention? When was the last time you sat down and asked, what did the data from my last 5 videos tell me about what my audience actually cares about? Most people never do this because it feels like extra work and they are already busy. But this is the work that actually compounds. See, what you need is performance reflection and adaptive AI loops. Here's how I do this. Every week, I feed AI my content stats, engagement numbers, revenue signals, and what worked and what didn't work. And I don't just dump numbers, I add context. Like, this video performed well, here's why I think it resonated. This email flopped, here's what I think went wrong. AI's role is to help me spot patterns that I might miss, highlight anomalies, and suggest tactical shifts. And this is what matters. Most people use AI to produce outputs. I use it to update my thinking. That is a difference. When you have a system for reflection, your strategy evolves faster. Your tactics stay aligned with reality and you stop making the same mistakes. This is not passive automation. This is an active feedback loop that makes you sharper over time. Now, finally, number 12 is the one that ties everything together. And if you miss this one, the other 11 won't work the way that they should. Here's a trap most people fall into. They hear about an automation. They get excited. They set it up. And they think, done, that's automated now. And then 6 months later, it's not working anymore. Or it never really worked in the first place because it treated automation like a task. Set it up and forget about it, but that's not how real leverage works. Automation isn't a light switch. It's not on or off. It's a living system. And if you treat it like a one-time setup, it will degrade over time. It will stop working. It becomes just another thing that used to be useful but isn't anymore. But the people that actually win with AI understand this. The people who don't, they keep searching for the next shiny tool. What you need is a living automation stack. Automation isn't just one thing. It's a system of systems. And here's the loop that matters. Time saved leads to consistency. Consistency leads to data. Data leads to refinement. And refinement leads to leverage. And when you have leverage, you can move towards growth. That is a compounding effect. So when I install feedback loop automation, that generates data. That data improves my launch OS. My launch OS informs my bonus creation. My support system surfaces insights that feed back into the product development. It's all connected. And I want to leave you with this final thought. The advantage for you isn't the tools that you're using. The advantage is how you think about automation. Most people treat AI like a magic button. Press the button, get the output, and move on to something new. Operators, like me and hopefully like you, treat AI like a system. Install it, measure it, refine it, let it compound. And that is the difference between someone who uses AI and someone who builds leverage with AI. Alright, so those were the 12 underrated ways to automate your business with AI that I think most people are completely sleeping on. If this was useful for you, I have a video on how I systematically plan my entire launch calendar using AI. I will link that at the end here. And if you want to go deeper into installing these systems in your actual business, not just understanding them conceptually, but actually finishing the installation, that's what we do inside the AI Revenue Engine. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.